Hi everyone, Chris Harry here, Trading with the Trend. This video really clearly shows exactly what I'm looking for when I'm doing my stock picks for trading the next day. And this one here is a monster in the making. The setup on the daily chart is what really attracted me to it. You can see here on the daily chart that the stock has been selling off sharply, along with every other stock in the oil services sector. As the price of oil has plummeted and drilling activity has dried up. But you can see this downtrend just lose momentum in this general area here. And we had a low here and another low right here, just barely punched below that low. And then we had this next low on earnings. And this low actually got bought up. And it had this little spike here and then pulled back and made a higher low and then tried to push back up again and pulled back and yet another higher low. And then pushed back to these highs and pulled back, yet another higher low, and then pushed up and closed right at the highs on this day, which was just above the highs of this day here, and definitely within range of this high here. Now a stock like this, in this kind of a downturn, and just looking at the past couple months, the stock has been cut from 16 all the way down below 5, so it's been cut by 2/3. Just over the past couple months here. And there's going to be a lot of shorts here, and they're going to have some stops above the high of this day right here. So in this general area there's going to be stops, and there might be some other stops and kind of up in this general area, but there's going to be a lot of shorts still in this name. And if this stock starts to rally past this high, they're gonna get out in a hurry. So I see this 1, 2, 3 higher lows here now, and it's getting up to these highs, very close to that high, and I really like the setup. And I actually had it on the list for 2 days because I did this the next day, pushed up, closed right at the highs on strong volume, and then the next day it pushed up again and got into kind of this range right here, just under the $11 number, hit a high of 10.79. So caught some supply in here, and actually came back down to close kind of mid-range here. So the volume really picked up here. It's a lot of selling from the highs here down to the close. So anyone who got in this area certainly had the opportunity to take some profits here and did. And you never know. I don't have it on the list again for trading tomorrow after this day. I really like the setup here, and after this strong day, sure, put it on for one more, but to have it on for another day after this close it had on this day is just not high enough probability for me. But often what happens is when these things start going, market makers and specialists will take the opportunity to just give it to the shorts, and they'll I've seen ones like this gap up and then run another couple dollars and end up in a major shooting star. So gap up to $12 and run up to 14 and end the day down at 11 or something like that. A crazy day like that. But we'll have a look at the weekly now, and you can see that the stock was $60 2.5 years ago. It's come all the way down below 5. So it's gonna be plenty of shorts in here. If any stock or sectors due for a bounce, it's this one. And I wouldn't even think that this stock is going to make it up to this previous trading range, but still, there's a good good percentage move to be made from the lows here, even to the midpoint of this last move down here. So I'm going to the 15-minute now. We'll look at a couple of entries. This is the first day up. Had this 3-bar consolidation, new high right here as your first entry. Take it up for this move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles that moves up for. Hour and 15 minutes. Takes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes for the stock to consolidate before making another push up. And anything above these highs here, above these roughly equal highs, that's another entry right here. Moves up again, pulls back, very shallow pullback considering the size of that move. And this green candle will be your next entry above the high of this green candle for that next move up there. And on this next day here, didn't really put in a nice setup on the 15-minute chart, other than this little pullback here. You can see the volume dropped off on this red candle, and then it pushed up again. But basically, it opened up, sold off, reversed, and just went. And we'll look at it now on the 5-minute. So this is actually the second day. We'll have a look at the first day now. So it pushed up right out of the gate, had this kind of consolidation that we saw in the 15-minute. As soon as it made that new high right here, it just went. So you could have actually gotten in on this green candle above the high of this one after it pulled back, or waited for it to make a clearly new high above all these highs here. And you see it tried to pull back here. At one point this was a red candle on very little volume, and it just wasn't able to sell off. I mean, this thing it was time for this thing to move up. So move up it did. Take your stop right here, and stock pulls back. You could take another entry right here above the high of this green candle and hold through all this, or wait until it's very close to making a new high of the day. So when it has that red candle right there, right up near the highs, and isn't able to move down, this green candle right here, that's another good entry as it makes a new high of the day. And pushed up, didn't make a lot on that move, but you can see that every time this thing made a new high, it pushed up. And lots of different entries here on the 5-minute chart. And on the next day, this is the last day up here. You can see it opened up, tried to move higher, and then it had that sharp sell-off here on volume. So this is probably running some stops on the long side that had been there from the past day, and then it just reversed and went. And to take it here isn't, to me, the picture of certainty. But right here, after it moves up, has these two red candles here on very low volume. It's kind of consolidating, pulling back. As soon as it makes a new high here, above the high of these two candles right here, either right here or a new high of the day right here, very close together, and I'm talking a couple pennies. That's your first entry. And it pushed up, and it did end up, just consolidating here, and didn't really look like it was doing much until all of a sudden it goes again, right? So you could also buy the new high above the high of these two candles right here. And these moves they're pretty significant moves. From the low here of 9.45, it went to 10.34, so 90 cents on a it's a 10% move. And right here again, that's another 10% move, so 10% move, consolidate, another 10% move, and you can pretty quickly and easily put together a nice string of wins on the stock. And it's exactly what I'm looking for. Setup is beautiful. I'm looking for monsters, and this one was a monster.